So I guess like the $1 million question we have is like, why do we struggle with peace, but we're okay with negativity? It's a little different when you actually sit down and start trying to analyze why do we struggle with one when the other one is so much harder. I have people who will say like, I'd rather live in chaos than to live not knowing why something is so peaceful to me. It's very different. It's very different. Um, we talk about how do we get to where we're at, knowing that we didn't get here by mistake, right? What happens is that in life, when you try to figure out how to move without going anywhere, it's a thought process. Many people will tell you that I can get to where I'm at and where I'm going without the assistance of anybody. Many people will tell you that I strive better in negativity than I do in peace. Let's dive deep into it. Let's figure out what this is all about. If I wake up in the morning and I give God His grace, His thankfulness, His glory, and I walk outside and I'm protected for the remainder of the day, somebody's looking after me. But if I go out and I start off with a negative vibe, the car don't start. People are already calling asking for favors. I don't want to do this. It's impossible. I can accept that negativity because it's right in front of me and I know what just happened. What if you told somebody that's always bringing you burden to stay away from you? What if you told somebody, hola, hola? What if you told somebody, I'm no longer going to let you impact how I move every single day? Right? Prime example. I have nowhere to live, but you just saw them out last night enjoying their life, spending money instead of thinking, hey, I might need to use this money to get a hotel room, right? It's different. It's different. Elsewhere, what up? You cannot save everybody. And if your peace is being interrupted by negativity, you're really not saving yourself. I'll give you a story, short version. I have a friend, and he tells me, man, I just need $20. I need to put gas. I need to put gas, and I need to eat, right? Here are the key factors that he's telling me. The key factor is I need this, right? Then when I seen him again the following day, he was like, man, I had to feed me, I had to get me gas, I had to feed my girl, I had to feed her kids. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. How do you help somebody else when you're asking for help for you? See, the positive of it was me giving him the money. I was clear on, I'm gonna hand this to you without any expectations of you giving it back. I don't expect you to give it back until you say I'll pay you back. Then I expect it back. The negative part was now you're back in the same spot you was in when you started. You asked me for money and help for you, and then you started feeding everybody else. So that means you probably only put like $7 in gas. You probably went to the Family Dollar, the Dollar Tree, got some ramen noodles and stuff. It, if you look at a pack of noodles that come, they come like what, 10 in a pack or 8 in a pack or 6 in a pack, something like that. You can feed you for a few days, but if you have to feed everybody else, Imagine feeding somebody else's responsibility, right? This is where you have to be clear on the negativities and the positivities that come in your life. The most peacefulest thing in the world is what I'm doing right now. I'm outside, I'm by myself, I'm enjoying life. That is the most peacefulest thing. I'm listening to a bird chirp right now. That is the most peacefulest thing. What happens when I start bringing people into the equation? Whatever their energy is, I have to now accept it. Because, like most people, you don't like to be by yourself, or you just can't be by yourself, as my mom liked to say. You can't be by yourself. What happens if you take a few months of your life and you have negativity that brought you all the way down, and you fought through the negativity and you found your peace? And now you know that you can live by yourself and you can stand by yourself. And the love that you desire of peace is more the desire of love of a person. It's way different. No, I haven't. So for me, growth is different than growing up. See, when you're growing up, you're trying to grow up. You're growing up super fast because you got to do things. When it's growth, take your time. Understand what it is. Feel the vibe. Match your own energy. Love yourself. See, it used to be the attention seeking of social media that everybody was on, right? You post like 20, 30 pictures a day. You want everybody to see you. And then you went from having like 400 or 500 likes to just 10 likes, 2 likes, sometimes no likes, 1 view, 300 views, 0 views. It mentally started taking a toll on you because you're like, wait a minute, I was popping. So your negative energy is what happened? What happens is what happens to every situation. What happened when we had MySpace? What happened when we had the whole Facebook craze? All these social media, people get tired. They become bored. Social media is a peaceful place for those who don't really know how to engage and interact with other people. Sometimes it's good for business. But if it's your everyday life, you're not at peace with yourself. Yes, indeed, embrace the process. I had a lady tell me, she says, and it was the most funniest thing because I've heard it since I was little. She says, you look like the type of person that will say no to a person who thinks the worst of you. I said, ma'am, not only are you incorrect, but you're correct at the same time. See, I'm not going to care what somebody else thinks of me for me to tell them no. I'm going to tell myself, nah, whatever they're about to try to come and do is not going to affect me. See, there's a difference. See, some people have to challenge their wealth, challenge their sexiness, challenge what everybody else thinks of them. I just have not to be one of them people. I challenge me daily. I challenge me to be better than I was 10 minutes ago, not the day before, not yesterday. But 10 minutes ago, what was I doing? What was I saying? How was I acting? How was I moving? Could I have done this better? Can I do this moving forward? You have to challenge yourself before you start trying to worry about challenging everybody else. Person told me, they said, hey, and this is real facts. Say, hey man, you getting fat. I said, what? Like, yeah man, like it don't look like it because you're tall, but you're getting fat. Okay, cool. I went home, I looked in the mirror, I said, yeah, you know, I was used to being in the gym a lot and I stopped. Once we reach a certain point, we just be like, I'm good for me. You know what I'm saying? So then I started coming to the park, working out. I go to the gym every once in a while, just so I can hit the weights. But other than that, I challenged myself to want to live. I embraced what my next goal in life was going to be with inside of me. See, I'm one of them people, I don't play with God. A lot of y'all do, and that's y'all's that's y'all's road to cross. But for me, if God gives me time to get up, I'm gonna give him what I need to give him. This morning I fell on my knees and prayed for the first time in a long time. I mean, I pray every day, but I never dropped on my knees and prayed. This morning I dropped on my knees and prayed. My knees was killing me for going down there. But I prayed, and my prayer to God is my prayer to God. My conversation with God is different. And I got up, and when I walked out, the sun was up. Not hot, a perfect sunset, kind of like it is now. Let me show y'all so y'all know. A perfect sunset, a perfect sunrise, I should call it. And life is good. Let me read one of these comments. Facts. I challenge myself on not the opinion of other people have of me. So let me explain to you why it's so important to not care what people think of you. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that's thinking negative of you has had a negative upbringing. You've ever seen, and this is me being honest with y'all, you ever seen somebody who used to be fat? They lose a lot of weight. They see another person that's fat now and they start talking crazy about them, but they forget they used to be that person. You gotta remember where you come from. You gotta remember, just because when you were fat it didn't hurt you, don't mean it don't hurt the feelings of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You remember when you were in school and you struggled to read, and now you see somebody else struggling, you make fun of them because you probably got hooked on phonics or something to help you read? Remember when you struggled, how it made you feel. Always put yourself back in the place where other people were. You know what I'm saying? I had a dude tell me, he said, man, I was an ugly guy in school. I said, physically ugly or emotionally ugly? Because there's two kind of uglies. He was like, nah, physically I was ugly. He made it clear. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, you know what that was like growing up? I'm like, nah, not really. And I wasn't saying it to be cocky or arrogant, but I was like, nah, not really. I didn't go through that phase. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being cocky at all. But I've been a handsome dude pretty much all my existence. So I don't know that part. But I do know this part. And this is worse than physical. I know the emotional part of ugliness. When people think because you're so cute that you can have anybody you want, because you're so cute, you probably got a lot of women. People don't realize 9 times out of 10, when a man is walking around with his arrogance and his chest out, it's not because he has a bunch of females or he got people waiting or he can have whoever. It's because he found an inner peace in himself that says you don't need extra headaches to make you a better person. So that's when you let other people just voice their own opinion about you. Facts, emotional intelligence, right? I have people who say to me all the time, like, man, Carter, I wish I had your life. No, the hell you don't. Never wish you had somebody else's life. Somebody might have more than you. Some people might have less than you, but be grateful for what you have. I've seen people almost go broke trying to keep up with other people. You got a TV that's 55 inch. They go get a 65 inch. Then they go get a 75 inch. Then they go get the, like, it just is, what are you keeping up for? What's wrong with the TV you got? You driving a Lexus. They got a Audi. Keep in mind, if your car gets you from point A to point B, all you doing is paying for the name of the car. You're not really paying for nothing different. You have to understand, rich people do silly shit. You ever seen a rich person have a 5-bedroom house? Probably cost them about 300,000, 2-story, all of that. Then you see somebody with a 1-story, 4-bedroom house. They go over to the 5-bedroom house and say, hey, babe, I need a 5-bedroom house. For what? Well, because our neighbors got a 5-bedroom house, 2-story. Why can't we have one? We can, but we don't need it. It's just us. See, they're doing it to keep up with their image. I'm doing this to keep up with our budget. You understand? There's a difference. There's a difference. I've been going into seminars that talk about financial stability and how to hold on to what you have. And how you hold on to it is to make sure the person in your life understands we are not them, we are us. You understand that? You gotta live within your means. Why would you invest in something that you can't keep up with? Right? Well, we have two incomes. Okay, let's add up two incomes. Mind you, this is the peacefulness and the negativity coming in together. If you have $4,000 worth of bills, right? And one of you makes $4,000 just at their job, what should the other person be doing with their money? Oh, I'm gonna hold on to my money. So I gotta pay everything and we struggle, but you're still good in case something goes wrong. No. The positivity would be like, hey, you take on this and you take on these. That would be the intelligent move in a relationship of positivity and all of that. Well, my friend's husband, he takes care of everything. Yeah, your friend's husband make 180K a month. We ain't on that. Well, I want a man like that. Well, then you need to go sleep with your friend's husband. That's what you need to go do. See, that's the difference. You see your friends, and sometimes the rich people are not living their best life, y'all. They're they're paying to keep up a facade. Trophy wife, trophy husband. Oh, I gotta pay for this to keep this person. I'm not paying to keep nobody happy because my inner peace told me I can be happy by myself. I'm retired at 28. My life is fine. I don't need that to be happy. First of all, let me tell you congratulations on retiring at 28. You know what I'm saying? They they body feel good. I body live good. Facts. So we dive into this last part. What happens when negativity overpowers your positivity? Well, you got to start looking at what was the negative part about it. Is the negative part about the person that you have around you, or is the negative about the person inside of you? Keep in mind, y'all, a car is a car. It just looks different. It runs different. But a car is a car. It's like a pair of Jordans. You ever see a pair of Jordans and you're like, damn, those are nice. And you look at the price and they're like 160. And then you go look at the same exact shoe without the Jordan on it and it's like 30. You're paying for a name. You're not paying for nothing else. Put the shoe down. Grab this one, stitch your name on the shoe. Tell them, man, these are the new Carters that just dropped. They look just like the Jordan, don't they? I'm gonna tell you where you have to be self-reliant. I know some of us don't know who these people are I'm about to say, but some of us do in America. You ever heard of the Big Baller brand? It was LeVar Ball, Tina Ball created a company for Lonzo, LaMelo, and Jello Ball. And I remember when Zoe's shoe was coming out, they priced it like at $450 to $500 for a shoe of independence. The shoe was like trash. It was a trash shoe. But the marketing was great. Because why? They were the first family to come into the NBA with their own shoe. Not Nike, not Puma, not nobody, right? Beautiful marketing scheme. But the greed overshadowed what could have been. If you can't afford these shoes and you're not a big baller, no, if you're not going to go into debt for some shoes that are going to probably get tore up the first time you hit a crossover and they blow out the side. You don't buy a shoe based on its value. You buy a shoe for comfortability, and you buy the shoe because it looks good. You're not gonna buy a $450 shoe that it was taking forever for people to get. And even the owner of the shoe said, I was changing shoes at almost every quarter because they were so horribly made. That's when we say quantity of peaceness over quality of negativity. Same thing in life. I have cousins that call me now, they hit me up, they're like, hey man, I want to hang out. All right, we can hang out because I don't hang with my family at all. Here in Texas, I only hang with my nephews. They'll tell you. They're the only ones I hang with. I don't hang with none of my cousins. I got one cousin that I talk to, like, through the social media. But other than that, I don't talk to my family members. I'm gone. Not because I don't love them, but because their negativity can't reach my positivity. You know what I'm saying? When I started my podcast, my cousin Daniel was like, whatever you need, let me know and I'll help you out. No questions asked. I didn't ask for his help. He offered it to me because you know why? Because whenever he needed me to show up for him on his podcast, I showed up. Whenever he, let me just say, we got each other. Let me just say that. That's our business right there. But he's the only cousin that I really fool with over here in Texas. My cousins in New York, Springfield, Beckley West, I talk to them, Cleveland, I talk to them and they farther away. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's like the more far away you are, I know you're not finna bring your nonsense to my positivity. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, they'll definitely bring you down. And listen, staying away from family is not a bad thing, y'all. Like, it's not a bad thing. I got one family member can't nobody stand. Nobody. When I say nobody, I mean nobody. Nobody can stand her. Everybody stays away from her. Why? Because her energy is negative. Her positivity is greed. So when you have to stay away from a person like that, it's better for you and your sanity. People are like, man, that's your man. Hey, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't have you around me and you bringing me nothing but negative energy every single day, right? So you have to challenge yourself day in and day out to be great, man. Look at this. Let me ride. That's the new wave too, y'all. You know, it's a lot of people ain't riding around in gas-powered cars. They're going to get these little scooters. I think that's a gas-powered one myself. But I got an e-bike at home. I ride around on that. But anyway, back to our regular schedule programming. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You in a relationship, keep your relationship private from everybody else. Because people hate to see you and your spouse happy. They hate it. Keep your relationship business to yourself. It ain't made for social media. Some of us had to learn that the hard way. Stop telling your friends all your negative energy, but you never tell them the positivity that the other person does for you. See, one thing I've learned is that you have to be 1,000% clear on who you are when you're with somebody else. What they do might affect you, not if you put your foot down. If you tell them, hey, I don't agree with this, so I can't do this part. If you're one of those people who you don't party, don't party. But every once in a while, show up to a family event with them. Just so people can see like, oh, he supports or she supports the person they're with. But anything that y'all got going on privately, people don't even know like when a person breaks up anymore. Just, hey, where? Oh, doing his thing. She doing her thing. They don't know you together or not because that's not their business. Because one day people will see you out and be like, hey, we'll talk. Not your business. Keep your positive energy more stronger than your negative energy. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Y'all stay blessed up.